is a review of contour line drawing. So if you think back to the beginning of drawing one, we start talking about the difference between learning to see and what we know about an object. And we work hard on kind of timing our eye and our hand to work together to carefully record the edges of an object to create what we call a contour line drawing. So if we just review contour line as a concept, a contour line is a line which defines a form or an edge. It is basically the outline of a given object or figure. So it's only the outline. There's no shading, there's no value, nothing is colored in a contour line drawing. It is like you're turning whatever object you're looking at into basically a coloring book drawing. Contour lines can be used to show any like dramatic changes in plane within the object or form. So for example, if we are talking about a shoe, I'll show you a drawing of a shoe. The contour line doesn't just stay out here at the outer edge of the shoe, but it does move inside where there are different varieties in plane. So there is, on a pair of Converse, this piece of rubber is thicker, right? And there's an edge here. And so you can see that I've drawn that edge as a part of my contour line drawing. I've also hinted at where the stitching is without drawing the stitching, and have included all the details necessary for us to understand a realistic version of that Converse tennis shoe. This is what we're going to be doing today and every day for the rest of the week. I want you to create at least one contour line drawing of an object every day this week. Just as another reminder too, is that when we make contour line drawings, they seem simple because they're just the empty outlines of things. However, in order for them to be accurate and in order for us to improve our skill as artists and as people who draw, we have to go slow and controlled while we make this particular style of drawing. So when we're making a contour line drawing, we are basically taking a walk with our eyes around the edges of the object that we're trying to draw. And we are trying to train our hand and our eye to work together as a team as best we can, okay? So we also are not worried about mistakes necessarily. So if I feel like I've drawn something in the wrong place, I'm just gonna redraw it. So you guys maybe remember drawing pop cans from drawing one, and you can see here like one of like my original line is like a little too angled, and because I was drawing with pen, I just went ahead and redrew then the line next door to it. We call this restating. So today when you're doing your contour line drawings, I want you to use the pens, like you have pens in your kit, and that's what I want you to use. So you can see I have stacks of these. I love contour line drawing. It is one of my favorite things to do, but it is also the beginning of every single drawing that we will do for the rest of the trimester. And so making sure that we practice is a really good plan. So here's what I'm gonna have you do in your sketchbook today. You are going to make a contour line drawing of at least one object. I recommend that you do multiple objects, so I'm gonna go ahead and I'm going to grab this tape because it's here on my desk. Wasn't very well prepared and I didn't go get any other objects. And I'm going to grab a stapler. And you can see that I've kind of set them next to each other. You know, maybe I can add another art supply in here. You can draw the things on your desk. You can draw really whatever you want. It doesn't matter to me what you draw. Move this stuff up a little bit. But what I'm going to do is go ahead and open up to the front page. This was the page I skipped. Remember last week we had our sketchbook page. I am going to think about filling some of my space, and I am going to practice kind of slow and controlled drawing. So I want this tape dispenser to sort of fill the spot. So I'm going to find a spot on my tape dispenser. I am going to put my pen on the paper, and then I'm going to make sure that I'm looking very carefully back and forth between my object and my drawing as I work. Now you'll notice as I concentrate, I have a harder time talking while I'm doing this.
Can we also use pencil?
No, I want you to use pen. The reason I want you to use pen is as I find that pen slows us down in a way that's really perfect for contour line drawing, because too often when you draw with pencil, the focus is on, have I made a mistake and do I need to go back and erase something? So if we are drawing with pen, instead our focus will become finishing, okay? So when we do a contour line drawing, we can't just quit it. We have to finish it in order for it to be considered successful. So we don't learn anything from a drawing that we stop. And we do these to learn. We do these to practice. So I want you to go ahead and practice. And even though things, like already I see things that are super funky in my drawing, I'm still drawing, okay? I have made some proportional errors that are becoming more and more evident as I continue to draw. And I am just letting myself not be worried about them. Because a lot of times you're harder on yourself when you're drawing than anybody else is going to be when they look at your drawing. And so I think if I just keep working, I don't know that anybody else is going to notice that my tape dispenser is drawn horribly wrong. I notice right now that it's drawn sort of horribly wrong. But you can now see I have my tape dispenser. I've kind of done a forced perspective thing. I can see that this pulls down farther than it should. But whatever, it still looks like a tape dispenser when I look at the drawing, which is the important part. Now I can switch and I could do my stapler, which is the next object here. So I would go ahead and continue to make a contour line drawing. Does anybody have any questions about your job today?
So how many contour line drawings are we supposed to make today?
You need to make one today. That takes you about 15 minutes. So really this one, I went kind of fast because I was talking to you guys and you don't want to have to watch me draw for 15 minutes. So I would need to add another object in here, right? So here I have my stapler. So maybe I put my stapler here and pretend that it's actually behind my tape thing and I draw my stapler. So you can see how even though this is not real, right? The stapler wasn't sitting here when I first drew the tape. I can fake this situation and add another object in. When you're drawing your objects, you must draw them from real life, okay? I do not want you looking up photos and drawing from photographs today, okay? We'll get there, but not today, I want you to have the practice of drawing from real life. So you may draw anything that you can find in your home or room. It doesn't matter to me what you draw, but it does have to be an object that's actually there, that you can actually look at and have sitting in front of you while you draw. So I want you to spend, like I said, 15 or 20 minutes on a contour line drawing. And it can be objects like this, or it could be more of a scene, like, you know, like this. This is, you know, from a drawing one class where we were just drawing pop cans and other objects on the table. Well, I've drawn the objects on the table, but I've also drawn the person sitting across from me. So you can draw yourself an entire little scene as long as it is the scene that's right there. So if you have a desk or you're eating your lunch and you want to draw your sandwich on a plate, that is what I'm going to have you do today. So I want you to spend, like I said, about 15 or 20 minutes making a careful contour line drawing of multiple objects as practice, just kind of getting back in the habit of creating drawings. Joshua, it looks like your hand is up. Did you have a question?
Yep.
What's your question, Joshua?
Are we supposed to spend our 15 minutes doing contour line drawings?
Correct. 15 minutes doing contour line drawings of objects that you can see.
How?
What do you mean, how? How or now?
How?
How? Well, you could set a timer or just do like this, like set up some things. Like you can draw your breakfast, you can draw your tennis shoes.
So draw the line outside of each object?
Correct. The outline of the object. Yes. Use pen.
Including the inner lines?
Well, the inner lines as well. Like, look, these, I mean, this is not just the outline edge of